Hi there guys, this is Bear for the Bear Truth and the Apocalypse Jones Show. Thank you for tuning in again. And also thank you so much for the suggestions that are coming through. I really thank you for watching the video. I'm going to do a segment on each of the suggestions I've had, either today or over the next couple of days. But the first one I'm going to do is one that somebody sent me in a private message, and it's about possible transmission routes of the disease coming into our home. And it's something that I've been thinking of, but my friend, she's done some really sterling research, and I'm just going to recount really what she suggested to me, because I think this is great information that should be out there. And it's just another part of us changing our thinking, changing our behaviours to minimise transmission and minimise getting disease into our homes, infecting us and those we care about. So it's about other ways that disease can get into our homes. Now, obviously, there's been great advice about ourselves, washing our hands, keeping ourselves clean, not touching our face. I mean, soap and water is still our greatest defence, our greatest weapon in our arsenal with this disease, because the lipids in soap break down the proteins on the virus. The virus then cannot survive without the protein sheath, and the virus dies. So, soap and water. Hand gel is a good substitute, but seriously, soap and water is your best defence in regards to this. Now, that's great for us, our bodies and everything like that, you know, how we have the virus within ourselves and on our skin, on our body, everything like that. But what about other objects? So think about the bottom of your shoes, your boots, whatever you're wearing, whatever footwear you wear when you go out of the house. That is one of the key points for picking up dirt, diseases, everything you can imagine. You know, I mean, I'd say, look at it simply, that no matter how you go out of the house, you're going to step in dog muck. It sounds mad, but no, think about it. You're going to go out there, you're going to potentially come in contact with the virus. I think it's more likely because people cough and sneeze, especially outdoors, maybe not so much, but indoors, definitely. So say someone in a supermarket just sneezes and coughs, and they do the right thing, they cover their mouth, everything like that, but still particles will escape. They get on the floor. You get them on your floor, on your boots, your shoes, and they can survive for a couple of hours. So suddenly you have the virus there on your shoes. Doesn't seem like much, but you come home, you walk into your house. So every step you potentially dropping that virus at some point within your floor or within your home. And then all it takes is a pet, you're cleaning on the floor, something's on the floor that comes in contact with it. That virus is then transmittable to anybody in that home. So I'm very lucky. I have hardwood floors and a tiled floor over my entire ground floor of my house. And I'm even doubly lucky because I have a little step down tiled area right by my front door. So my procedure now, I've got a disinfecting spray that is viable against killing the H1N1 virus, which was another respiratory virus from a few years ago. And so what I do is, as soon as I get in, I leave my door open, I take my boots off, step up onto my main hallway, and then I spray the bottom of my boots with this disinfectant spray and around the soles, just to minimise and hopefully kill the virus there if it is on my footwear. And then I spray around my keyhole, letterbox, and the whole top half of the door where I've touched it, just to make sure that anybody who comes up to my door, say a postie, for example, doesn't run the risk of getting a fomite. Those are the particles of the virus that's out of the body and is able to survive. It doesn't get it onto their hands and then in turn spreads it, and then they're spreading it to every other person's door that they put posts through. I even got to a point now where I'm actually disinfecting my gate and the lock. I actually elbow it up and I do a whole hands-free routine to get out, which must look entertaining for my neighbours in the morning. But I'm still conscious that that potentially I could be spreading it that way. So I just want to minimise contact for other people, even just outside my home, because that I think is still a potential transmission point. And that brings me on to the next point. So going back to that analogy, you're in a supermarket and somebody's asymptomatic, but they have a mild cough. They don't think that they're ill. And say that they're going for a pack of toilet rolls and they cough. 200 to 300 particles, fomites, come out of their mouth at high speed and cover all the plastic. Now, the evidence that I've seen is potentially the disease can live for a couple of days potentially on plastic, from what I understand. I might be wrong, and please, if you have any further information, do comment below. We need to start sharing information. That's why I'm doing these videos, is just for information sharing, commentary, things like that. So the more information we can collaborate with, the more information we can share, the better armed we are, the better knowledge we have. But So back to the example. So somebody's just covered all of these toilet rolls potentially in the virus, and you pick them up. So you've immediately got it in your hands, but you're smart. You're not touching your face. You do your shopping, and as soon as, like me, I don't know if other people do this, as soon as I've actually gone through the tills, I hand sanitize myself, my hands, just to minimise that possibility that I've caught it from any objects. And then I wash my hands when I get in. But this is what my friend pointed out, and I think this is really pertinent. So that pack of toilet roll has the disease on it. The virus is there. And you're bringing it into your home. And you put it in your bathroom. And then one of your family goes in and opens it. And they've got it on their hands. And they may not think, or probably don't realise, until my friend pointed out, I didn't really have this in my mind, that that's a transmission point. And especially once it's in your home, many of us, I'm sure, our guard will be down because we're in our safe space, we're in our sterile cocoon, we are within our home. But that's it. We've got to look at our behaviours. We've got to look at the way we've acted before is not how we can act anymore. And we can't be selfish about that. We can't think that why should I have to change? It simply is a fact that this is for your safety, the safety of those you love, and for wider society. So what my friend has suggested doing, I think this is great, is either wipe it down with an alcohol-based wipe or just wash them in soapy water. But anything you bring into your home, if it's feasible to clean and sterilise it, I think it actually would be a very good idea, especially as we are now at a peak point where we're going to start seeing a massive upsurge in infected cases and probably a massive surge in people who are hospitalised. So really reiterate that. This is your sterile cocoon. This is your home. You want to minimise contact with that virus. So don't just think of you as a way to transmit that virus. Think of the things you've touched, the things you're wearing. Think of anything that you could bring into your home. And her analogy was looking at it as like a police chain. So think of that object. You've touched it. You had to pick it up from a shelf. Someone had to put it onto that shelf. And somebody had to take it from the warehouse to get to that shelf. And then somebody had to load it onto the truck that took it to the supermarket warehouse. And then somebody had to move it around within the warehouse from where it got sent to go to the supermarket. And then somebody had to touch it to manufacture it in the first place. So there's a lot of points of transmission. There's a lot of points that a disease could come in contact. And in most cases, the disease won't be able to survive long enough. But I don't think we can really run that risk anymore, especially if you live with someone who's vulnerable or you're going out to see someone who's vulnerable and potentially may be more susceptible to the disease. So it's looking at keeping our homes as sterile as possible and avoiding the ways that we can bring transmission points into the house. So I really think, that it's a great way to look at it. She said she was treating it almost like the foot and mouth epidemic. She had a foot wash and a hand wash by her door, everything like that. I don't think that's over the top. I think that's spot on. I'm just lucky to have this disinfectant spray that I found in one of my boxes of cleaning products. I don't even knew I had it. And it's one of those winner, prepping before I knew I needed to prep. So that's all I really had to say on that point today. As I said, with the developments that come in with the new benefit systems and the new rescue package for self-employed and what have you like that, I'm probably going to do another video on that today just because it's in the news, it's topical, and it's something that I actually have my own opinion on, about something called a universal basic income, which is, I think, something that would actually and should be looked at right now, and it's been mentioned in Parliament as well. It's something I stood for and was one of my election campaign promises when I was standing for elections, to try and roll out a universal basic income. But I'll deal with that in another video. So I'm going to finish up now, but what I want to start doing, I'm going to start doing shout outs for heroes. And I genuinely mean this, for heroes. So I've got a friend, Lisa. She works as an intensive care nurse down in London. And she is under pressure, as they all are. She sent a photo through of the rash and the sores that she's getting from wearing PPE constantly as well. So I just want to do a shout out. If you know anybody who you think deserves to be shouted out in these videos, please just send through and I'll mention them by name, because this is what we need to do. These are the real heroes that are going to save our society and save those we love. So Lisa, and to all your colleagues in the intensive care unit, thank you. Without you, we won't survive this. So, this is Bear for the Bear Truth and the Apocalypse Jones Show. If you like my video, please do subscribe, please do share it on. And if you've got any suggestions for videos you'd like me to do, or anything else you'd like me to talk about, please drop them in the comments below. Stay safe, guys, be kind and compassionate, and I'll see you on the other side.